Hello guys and welcome back to MDTV and most importantly, Happy New Year. Today is the first ever episode of my new series called Black Women in Conversation, where I'll be sitting down with different black women from different walks of life. We'll be sharing their realities of being a young black woman, because I feel like most of the time it's people who are not black nor women who like to have a say on the things we go through and our journey. So I feel like it's very important that I sit with young black girls who can share their stories to provide insight and entertainment and most importantly to educate one another. Our first question today is more of an icebreaker, a question that we can really get into, and it is, after experiencing heartbreak, what lessons did you learn from it, and how did that shape you into the woman you are now? This could be heartbreak from relationships, within your family, friendships, etc. I feel like I'm going to start with that question. I feel like heartbreak is a topic where like people underestimate what heartbreak can really do to you. One of the things I learned during heartbreak is not to invest myself all into someone. I feel like in my past relations, you know, I really did the most. I really did the most. Not even did the most. It was more of like, you know, when you like really like someone, you kind of forget yourself. And I didn't really know about that loving myself first. So it was like when they were not so happy, I wasn't happy. When they were happy, I was happy, and it became detrimental to my health. You know, I'm sure a lot of us can relate. So,
but when you hit rock bottom, it's the best thing that can happen to you.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't think
so. Yes, when you
hit
rock bottom, you have nothing. You have to come back.
I think you have to hit rock
I
bottom.
don't know. I don't think I've ever experienced heartbreak.
Same.
I don't think I've ever experienced it.
Thank the Lord.
Well, obviously, right now,
I make a bit jokes about some people sometimes.
No, it's not a joke.
It's not a joke, because only recently, through my relationship now, with him going through heartbreak in his last relationship, I kind of get it, but I still don't get it.
It's
I
not
get it to an extent.
one thing I learned about heartbreak. You can't be bad for heartbreak. It can happen at any time in your life. And I just feel like a lot of young girls, 16, 17, not in a rude way. It's not everyone that's gonna have that secondary school love that you end up getting married. So when we do speak to someone, we get so invested in them that when things go left, we're just like, oh my gosh, I cannot breathe, because I literally couldn't breathe. But it's literally like, we need to start knowing that we are young, it's okay, you know, to date and have relations, but if you go in it with the...
I used to have keys to my ex's house, so that was my house.
She did the most in it, but all I know that it really taught me to know my worth.
100.
Josie, do you have something to say?
I agree with Mariam. I think heartbreak really taught me to be resilient. Do you know what I mean? Because at the time you feel like you can't get through it, but you know, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, as people say. It sounds cliche, but you will get through it. Like, no matter what it is, it may not even be in a relationship or whatever, but you'll get through it. Because with heartbreak, you're not yourself. Do you know what I mean? You're not eating.
It takes time.
So you're not eating, you're not sleeping. You know, you're different. So you record
yourself. I know. One of the things with heartbreak is like, it stops you from doing everything, like your business. You can have a business with school. Obviously, for me, it was more of when I was in education, so it's just like sometimes I wouldn't complete my assignments, you know. Sometimes I wouldn't go to workshops because of one person, and from that experience, I said I will never ever do that again.
And men don't realise what they do to us, you know. They think saying okay, yeah, bye, she'll get over it in the next 2 days. Okay, cool. Hit me up in 6 months, I'm still crying.
But this is just to like heartbreak with like men and guys, but like there's also like family stuff as well. Like I just think like for me, like the bottom line is like, anything can happen to anyone at any time, number one. Number two, not like you have to get over it, but I have that mindset in my head, like you have to get over it. Like, I've got stuff to do, like my life doesn't stop right here. Like, some people get heartbroken with men or boys at like 16. You're so young, like you got your whole life ahead of you. Like, there's no point. We're gonna go to uni or have jobs and stuff. Like, you just gotta think you're gonna get over it anyway. Like, so just start now. Like,
heartbreak comes in many like forms as well. Like we said, like family, you can stop talking to your mom, your brother. Even like friendship breakups are even worse than like a man breaking up with you, because that's your friend.
I feel like people don't really understand that friendship breakup. It can actually be really serious, especially if you really like someone. When it's only like, when it's boys and girls, he's like, I love my man so much, but we don't really fight. Not, I wouldn't say me, but some people don't really fight for the friendship breakup more than they fight for the relationship breakup. Like when it's relationship, girls will be, they can't breathe. Like, well, if they're not talking to their friend, I'm not breaking. There's a pride.
Forget about it.
It becomes like a pride thing, and I feel like that's really problematic. But who here would say like not only relationships, but when it comes to like family, there's been some heartbreaks that probably, you know, contributed to the way they are now?
Oh, me, 100%.
Definitely me.
I done one with a friend the other day. We went through heartbreak like a couple of years ago, but during the COVID and that, I reached out to her and I was like, I'm fed up of not talking to you. Like, I don't hate you or anything, but I'm just fed up of talking to you. I know that relationship's never going to be the same, but I just need to amend that to move forward. Like, I was moving forward, I was still doing what I needed to do, but you know, that piece of the heart, it's just like...
That's so good. I feel like that with my brother. Like, we were so close growing up, and now, like, our bond's broken, and it hurts me because, like, that's my ride or die brother. Like, at the end of the day, that's still my flesh and blood, and that hurts me more than probably breaking up with a man, because that's my brother.
Same.
Yeah.
But I feel like, but when it does come to heartbreak, people don't... It's always relationship heartbreak that has so much, but there's so many different forms of heartbreak. With me, I can only speak for, obviously, that
You see the family thing, like, I feel like the family thing, not to say that one's worse than the other, but you see your family, like, it's like, you see you grow up and then you see on TV a mum, a dad, a brother, or sister, you see like perfect families, or like, you go to your friend's house and it's like their mum's there, their brother's there, sister's there. But then it's just thinking, okay, cool, like, you start to evaluate your home situation, and then if it's not like that, it's like, right, like, you know, like, am I missing out on something cool? And then, like, with me personally, I've clocked, like, the way that I am, I'm so heartless, I'm so, like, I don't care about anything. If a boy does something to me, I'm like, okay, cool, fuck off. I don't care about nothing, but it stems from how I am with my family, like, if something happens,
I totally agree.
fuck off, it happens.
Why do you agree?
I just, like, literally everything Jishan said, same thing for me, like, literally the same. But my main thing is, like, after a while, I was able to identify the fact that, like, I'm not happy in my situation, especially with heartbreak. I feel like it's good to, like, be like, it's okay, I'm not okay, don't try to mask it. Like, when you try to mask it, that's when it just gets, you know, everything just piles on top of each other. So I feel like it's good to, like, be in tune with your feelings, and that's what I've learned how to do, like, over time.
How safe do you feel in a world full of predatory men? What are your stories surrounding men which have made you feel scared, uncomfortable, and unsafe? Oh yeah, I'm gonna start. We see men as protectors. They're meant to keep us safe, hug us, everything, and I do not feel that when I see a man. Like, I feel like I'm a victim to sexual harassment every time I come out my house. Like, I could be in a full tracksuit and a man is still gonna catcall me. And I'm thinking, like, what am I doing? Like, and then it makes you look at yourself like, okay, I can't wear this top because a man's gonna look at my tits, for example. Or I can't wear something tight because he's gonna look at my ass. And it's like, why do men make us feel like that? And also, like, even it goes back to, like, little kids, because we saw that scenario that happened with that little girl going to school. Why are men, like, what is wrong with men? Like, why do you have to go next to a little girl and abduct her? No one feels safe no more.
I agree. I feel like with men, we've got to that stage in life. You know, sometimes, like, when you're even just walking at night, I'll put the volume down in case someone's coming at me. I'm never walking with my hood up and it's like it's become normalized, but we shouldn't feel like we have to always make sure we're looking behind our backs. Because in the night, even after a motive, what do you mean? I'm gonna make sure that I'm on the phone to someone or stuff like that. I feel like, as much as we laugh about it, like, you know, like, in, like, let me just say, probably an area like Peckham, you'll be walking and African men will be calling it. We laugh at it, but it's really disgusting, and it's actually so annoying. Like, a lot of them, they look like my dad's age, you know, speaking to us in a certain way. We laugh because the stuff they say is funny, but it shouldn't be like that.
And when you retaliate, it's like they get mad at you, but it's like you're making me feel like I'm a piece of meat on your plate. Like, you're just digging at me, you want to eat me and dash me.
Catcalling is the bottom of the barrel.
Like, that one I'm even used to it now.
I hate it. That one, it aggravates me.
And it's even worse because it's just like, it's just talking, but imagine someone talking so much can just
Oh, guys, the worst one, you know, when they're driving and they stop their car. You know, now if you ask my snap, I even put my leg down. I do my dress, no, because I'm not, because I've seen, there's been scenarios where girls have refused to give their number, acid has been thrown on you. If you want my number.
Literally, there was a video the other day, and a boy tried to speak to a girl, and she got stabbed in the
ear. You're not gonna slice me.
And the whole car seat was full of blood.
Guys, do you see how, like, that's on social media? Imagine all the things that aren't covered, like people that don't record it. Like, we was lucky enough to see that little girl be recorded, and the power of social media like saved her, but all the other stuff that's not recorded, like,
that's what I was gonna say. If we didn't have social media, a lot of things would go unaddressed. Like, it's actually not.
Men would get away with murder.
If a boy moves to me and I'm giving you my number straight away, I don't want to know what I love, because
I'll block you when I get home.
I'll block you when I get home. Some girls
and it's not okay that we have to do that.
Yeah, that's why it's not
okay. No, do you know what the funniest thing is? I've gone through a case where someone's catcalled me right outside my boyfriend's house, and I was like, who do you think you're talking to? Luckily, my boyfriend heard it from the window. But not all girls will react like that, because you don't know exactly, as I said, you don't know what's going to happen. Someone could have killed me, kidnapped me, punched me in my face, left me there.
Yeah, like, even when I'm rude and I walk away, like, in my head I'm thinking, okay, please don't.
If you run after me,
that's why more time we're nice, but then it's just like, why do You have to be like,
Yeah.
when boys,
Do you know what I mean?
I move
Men
on.
are
I
afraid
feel
it's disgusting.
Hard.
It's
I don't
disgusting.
think it's fair that we have to act a certain way just so they can leave us. Like, and I feel like some boys don't understand that. Not all boys are like this, but
Definitely.
some boys and men,
Just gonna
they
say-
don't really get. But when you actually explain it to them, they're like, "Oh, right, that's
That's
how
what I'm
you
saying.
This is
feel."
the way.
But with, like, not when I go outside, I'm scared, but I'm just always like,
I'm
Always have your guard up.
Yeah.
Like even when I'm getting into my block, I make sure like I can see.
I open my block door just so I can fit in.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Or even sometimes
Like,
a man.
I'm always looking behind me, so if I know I just need to quickly bang the door on their face.
Even like if a man's walking behind me, sometimes I step back. Yeah, you go first.
Yeah.
I'm not.
No, I do that. So
Yeah.
you
I
go
don't look
first.
at you weird. I think no, you go. It's
Yeah.
fine.
You go first. Like.
But I think it's more jarring, yeah, because boys, yeah, or men in general, they'll make us feel like we're chatting shit. But how I know I'm not is that every
Girl
girl
says the same thing.
says the
Every-
same thing. When we're in clubs, we go to toilet together. Oh, why do you do that? To mind your business. I can grab a random girl who comes to me like, can you follow me to the toilet?
I'll do that.
That's so
It's fine,
true.
That's so
That's
true.
so
Fine.
That's why it's so important for us to have each other because sometimes
Especially in
like
clubs and like weird men will do stuff even in open areas where they know
Where
like there's a lot of
yeah.
people but they can still single you out. That's why I'm always looking out.
Even like when men like we're on like the train and then like they'll brush past you purposely to touch your bum.
that's carnival.
What is
It's
wrong
disgusting.
with
It's
you?
disgusting. It's never funny. Look at us
It's
like.
I know,
You know, it's actually
but you know what the
That's-
craziest
yeah.
thing is, in a sense, the reason why I feel like they feel it's acceptable is because we deal with it so politely. But then in that same breath, it's like, how do you deal with it? Because
Yeah.
if you're rude,
Exactly.
this
They're gonna
happens.
slap
You
you.
just have to keep your guard up. Like, you got to be
consequence for
firm with your
everything.
response and whatnot. But it just doesn't make sense.
That's why
Just you should sense if no one wants, if we don't want to talk to you,
yeah.
that's
Men
it.
have too much
leave it.
pride.
100%. No means no. Period.
And when we
it.
say like men are trash, we're not talking about like them sleeping
No.
with 5 other
Yeah.
men. We're talking
Yeah.
about the fact
That's-
that
that's
you make
the
us
funniest
feel
thing.
as
That-
a victim.
As John was saying, that video that went around, I was so upset. Like the girl was literally trembling, and how old was she? She was definitely under 15.
She was going to like primary school or something.
Yeah.
Like something, yeah.
Yeah, 8. I think she was like 8 or something.
She was trembling and just like, how do people sleep at night? And I'm so happy the way social media
And
handled
I
it.
saw
Yeah.
the guy was even saying, "Oh, I'm her cousin or I'm
Yeah.
her family."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, he's
and
an
imagine
innocent.
if another person that saw that was like, "Okay, sorry."
Mhm.
They would've-
I feel like it's important that now, how do I say it? It just depends on who you are, but we need to start stepping up when we see certain
Yeah.
things that look
100%.
wrong. Because the woman that did that is amazing that she actually did that because
Yeah, definitely.
that
She's
kind of
even a
took-
child, not
She
a
was a
child,
child.
But she was like our age. Like, yeah.
Was she
You don't
like,
know.
I thought she was younger.
Oh.
I
No,
think
no, the girl
she's
that
a-
she saw her was younger, then she
But
told her
that's-
older
Oh,
sister.
yeah.
Oh,
Sister
yeah.
was like about our age.
she's
Yeah.
been raised well because not all 11-year-olds. How old was she?
100%.
She was
probably like
What, the girl that first saw
no,
her?
she was young. I told her
She was
sister.
young.
Yeah, she was probably, I don't know, she was a minor.
Yeah, but not everyone would see
not
that
everyone's
stuff
taught
is
like
wrong.
that.
Yeah.
Because remember us lot, well, like I talk for myself, like our parents and that will say, "Oh, if you see something,
Mind
your business."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
There's
girl
so
would have easily said, "You know what? I don't want any
And
trouble."
who knows
And
what
always wait till I
happened.
get round there, but it's too late.
Mhm.
So you just gotta
Shout out to her, she saved the life.
She did an amazing thing. I just
Saved
feel
her
like
life.
being a girl is not getting easier. We just need to
It's
start
not.
becoming. I don't even know. Even these tools they're selling on Amazon apparently pepper spray. There's this new
Honestly.
thing.
Yeah.
I feel like we're gonna have to buy it because we just never
But it's
know what's
such a
gonna
shame that
happen.
we have to do that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And
Men
I
are meant to
don't
make
wait.
us feel safe and protect us.
And I know there's a boy out there that's gonna say men don't say
Forget
men
it.
go through this.
And don't wait until you have to
Please.
go through or someone you know goes, just do it.
Yeah.
Just buy your stuff. And I always walk with my keys in my pocket.
Yeah, my mum told me.
Your
from
arms,
young,
you like
something. No, my mum told me from young, like if somebody comes to you, push your key in their belly.
Yeah, that's the most you know, do
Yeah,
something.
at least you can get away.
At least, but not
Yeah.
everyone has the opportunity, man, seriously.
So now we're gonna go to Kishan.
My first question is, how has your parental or sibling relations affected your upbringing as a black woman? I can just speak for myself here, like, my relationship with my family, like, I love my family, like, I love family, I love friends, I love love, do you know what I mean? But sometimes you need to understand that your relationships are not the best and stuff. So for me, like, I live in a very, like, it's just tough love, really. Like, I love my brother, I love my mum, but it's like me and my brother, we don't have the best relationships. Like, but personally, I feel like from like young, I've always had this. It's just you anyway. Like, I don't really need.
Every man for themselves.
Yeah, it's every man for themselves. I don't really need like a strong family to come from. I come from a strong family regardless, but as far as me thinking, yeah, oh, I got this back and I got this back and I'm good on my own. Like, I've always had my own mindset, but I think now growing up, that stems from my relationships in my home. To get it? So it's not. I wasn't just born that way. Clearly, stuff has happened, and then I feel this way in it. But so that's how it's affected me, and I feel like it's affected a lot of people. A lot of like my friends that I talk to, we just say, yeah, I'm strong, I'm this, I'm that. But we weren't born that way. Like, it comes from somewhere. So it's just about acknowledging how and where that came from, but I feel like I'm good anyway. Like I'm gonna make it. Do you know what I mean? Like as long as you focus on yourself. But some people they have that backing and it's good for them. But whatever works for you and this works for me, kind of thing. Yeah, that's me really.
I think I'd agree, just going off what you said, that you know, about coming from a family, because I'm like really close to my sisters. They're like a year older and a year younger than me, so we're all pretty much the same age. I feel like because I've had my sisters there, they've always kind of been people I could rely on, whereas in the outside world I might be going through things or whatever, but I've always had my sisters, even to the extent whereby when I went to uni, I decided to come back to London because I've always had them there throughout situations. So it's like, it was weird being on my own. And like, even as being a black woman, like my mum, she's changed a lot. Do you know what I mean? Obviously we all have like Nigerian mum or African mum, but like growing up, I've kind of seen how she's evolved to understand stuff we go through or changes and stuff. So I feel like there's definitely been like that type of, you know, like a change in that dynamic whereby we can kind of understand each other better. Whereas when we were younger, it was maybe just a bit more like, you know.
I think that's cool because so I forgot to mention the age gap as well. Like my age gap with my brother is 6 years. Like, and especially we're from South London, we're black. Like I'm a black girl, he's a black male in South London, so it's different dynamics for the both of us. And I think as I've grown up, I've realised that like it's not just I got a brother. It's okay. He's older, he's from South London, I'm a bit younger, I'm from South London, like, it's completely different times. So I feel like if I had a sister, I would love a sister, do you know what I mean? Like, to have another girl, that's why I love my friends, my girlfriends. But yeah, so I guess there's a lot of factors that come into the question, definitely, with people's relationships.
I have two sisters and one brother, and I have my mum and dad, and obviously, not all my friends like have their mum and dad, so when people look at us, they always like feel like my family is perfect, and I will not sit here and say my family's not good. Like I wouldn't say I'm from a toxic home. Do you get it? My family are good, but I feel like not everyone, but some people believe as soon as you have mum and dad, everything is great. But I would say like sometimes the dads, especially not all African dads or Caribbean, but some dads are normally just there to financially help. Like they do their job, pay the bills and stuff like that. But having that emotional conversation with their child, like asking them how you are, is not always there. But people believe like as soon as you have mum and dad, you have. But it's amazing. Obviously, if you have mum and dad, if you have two, that's obviously it makes sense. It's helpful, but it's not all the time. Like if you have both mum and dad, your life is good. Because I have some friends where they tell me not really they hate their dad. They don't like their dad. Their dad's just there. Their dad does this evil thing to their mum, but the family says like a lot of families is more. They're sticking together because of reputation, or they don't want people in the community to talk, and I feel like that can be toxic on your children because all the time they're seeing their parents argue and stuff like that. But what I'm trying to say from where I'm from is just more, obviously I've got mum and dad and they both play their parts, but sometimes it's just like, even though they're both there, the dad is normally doing just that part financially, but to have them kind of conversation with them is quite hard. Do you get what I mean?
That's crazy because, sorry, do you want to go? That's crazy because my mum, she's recently going through a divorce, not with my dad, with my stepdad, and going through that as the eldest child in the house, I feel like I've automatically just become the parent.
Yeah, really?
Like my mum, I feel like my mum's just broken. And she's just not who she is. It's broken, and I've got altogether there's 5 kids. I'm the second eldest. I've got the youngest one's a girl, the rest are all boys. I don't think I have a relationship with any of them.
Really?
Like not one of them. I would say my brother above me, he's 2 years older than me. When growing up, we was tight. We had the same parents, so when we was at dad's house, we'd be together. When we was at mum's house, we'd be together. Right? It's us two. But as you grow, as you said, like he's an older guy from the same area as me. Dynamics are different. So in that sense, opening up to him, it's like, how am I going to say about stuff? It becomes weird, and then from there, we just drifted apart. But recently, when I say recently, 3 days ago, I say like we started to work on that relationship because I made it known from my relationship with my friend that I said before. I was like, nah, I've got to go on this journey and just see where it takes me. Would you say that you're working in a relationship with your brother due to what your mum's going through and you want to be of support? I think that plays a part. I wouldn't say, that's why I just want to talk to him because I know my mum needs the help. I know they have their own relationship, but with me and him, I knew how close we were. So it's just like, in a sense, I kind of miss him. Do you know what I mean?
I do relate,
That makes sense.
I've had like a really weird family dynamic, and like I haven't been close to my siblings. My mum and dad are divorced, so it's like Jishan said, I've kind of had to be strong for myself. Like, you know, I don't care about a lot of things. Like always having my guard up, and is negative and is really draining. And like I've only had like friends who I could talk to and stuff. Like I really take friendship seriously because like that's kind of all I have. I don't have like a brother who I could talk to and tell him how I feel, or like a sister who I could kind of like vent to and stuff. Even though I do have a half sister and we are getting really close now, before it wasn't like that. And I was really like, I was always feeling like I'm alone, and it was really hard, and I didn't like that because I am very emotional. Even people think like I'm not, but I am, and I always have things that I go through and I want to like tell people, but I just can't, and it's like long bottling that in. So like it's literally friends. That's what I have kind of.
So does that mean you take your friends really seriously?
Yeah.
As a result of that,
definitely.
I was gonna say like the way I grew up, like I have a white mum, black dad, and I feel like my mum doesn't really understand like the depth of what black girls go through. So if you know me, you know I'm so close to my dad because I can literally speak to him about any and everything. So like we just have like this amazing relationship, but he doesn't live in my household. So when I'm going through stuff, like I used to be so close to my brother, and it's like as we've grown up, we're from the same area, but he's like 10 years older than me. So we just started to drift apart, but we used to confide in each other. But like becoming a teenager, it's like there's certain things that you wouldn't want to go and tell your brother, but I couldn't feel like I could go and tell my mum because she's not going to understand what black girls go through because she's not black herself. You get it? And then I've got like a little sister who's exactly like my mum, so it's like I try to shape her into the right direction, but it's like some stuff I know she just won't come and tell me because she probably won't think I understand.
You know, we were talking about the mini parent thing, and that's actually TK's question. So TK, would you like to ask your question?
Who here would describe their upbringing as a mini parent, and what strains may that have on you, have had or have on you? So now or before?
I think you should start with that.
I would say, oh God, I don't even know where to start. I would say, as I said, coming up, before my mum went through her divorce, it was all lovely. She's mum, like, do you know what I mean? There was a balance. My parents never were together. I would go to my dad's. I didn't feel like I had that parent role up until the point of my stepdad and my mum going through their problems. Because then at that point, my dad, he's not really in the image for them. He's not children. So then now, as the younger parent, as my mum's going through her feelings, her emotions, everything slightly changed. Sometimes she don't feel like cooking, so what's my younger siblings going to eat? You automatically, like, there's not like a cat where my mum's gone, you're going to wear this hat today and you're going to be mum. No, you automatically have that sense of like, I can see something's happening.
Yeah, I need to step up.
I need to step up. You haven't got a choice.
Because you're a girl, so you have
that motherly instinct. Do you know what I'm saying? And stuff like that, as you said, like with your little sister, same with my little sister, she's probably like similar ages maybe. She won't come and talk to me, but I urge her to like just not tell me everything, but you know, come and tell me, yeah, cool, this is what you've done today, like, because not having that motherly instinct of the actual mother, it's like, I get it. I don't want you to fold away. Because when my mum started to move a bit weird when she first went through her divorce, I was like, what the hell is this woman doing? So then I was like, I don't want my little sister or my little brother to even go through that. So automatically, as you said, I picked up those boots and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to give my little brother a little change to go shop and whatever he wants to do. Or it's just, I don't know, I don't really feel like I'm a mum. But I just know
you have that responsibility.
You feel like it's fair?
I feel like it's fair.
I feel like it's fair. I was gonna say.
You know, I feel like it's so good to have like a sibling, and then there's like a age gap, and then there's like the youngers, because imagine that there wasn't that age gap. They'll feel like if you're not there to kind of like guide them and steer them into the right direction, they'll just get lost, and like it can really affect them. But you have now stepped in because your mom's not able to do that right now. You stepped in, so even though they might not get that from their mum, because they're getting that from you, they will be okay in the end. Do you know what I mean?
And I think what makes it harder for them as well, because their parents were together. All they know is mum and dad. So for me, I never knew mum and dad. My parents were never together. Every weekend, dad's house. Weekdays, mum's house. Sunday, my dad's picking me up, dropping me off. Do you know what I mean? With them, it was always, my dad's in the front room, my mum's chilling next to him or whatever. So for them to be separated in two different households, having to adjust, do I want to go to my dad's house? Because they're of age to understand what a divorce is. They're not 2 years old, they're 11, 12, 13, 15. Do you know what I mean? So they get, you two ain't getting on, they know what relationships are. So it's in that sense, I think it's slightly harder because you can't like cover it up.
Yeah.
You have to actually just
You
tell
have
them
to,
what it is.
What it is.
Because if you don't, in the long future, they'll be like, you lied to me, you didn't
Yeah,
tell what's going on, you thought I didn't understand.
For you, obviously you said your parents were divorced.
Mm-hmm.
So how was it for you then? You didn't really have a mini parent then?
No, it was just, that was my norm. My norm was mum, weekdays, she's dropping me to school, she gives me, she pays for the food in the house and electric. Friday, dad, he gives me pocket money, he buys me all the clothes that I want, he buys me whatever gadgets or toys or whatever. That was it. That was my norm. Like, I never knew them together, chilling together. No, what? There was one point I remember my parents didn't even talk.
Yeah.
It's the same.
And it becomes hard because there's some situation, like I want to talk to the both of you, but
I actually thought you because like I grew up in a 2 different parent household, my dad, mum, and then like seeing my little sister with her dad and my mum in the same household, sometimes I sit like, why didn't I have this? Like I see mummy and daddy and Shan going out, cinema, park, and I'm like, I'll be at home because I just, not that I don't feel welcome, like that's my family, but it's like, because I didn't have that, it's like, it just feels weird to me.
Do you feel like you lacked anything? Because some people, they don't live with their dad, but the dad comes through, like, obviously we know some dads are not the best, but some dads actually come through.
Like
from what
I
I've
said,
seen.
I love my dad a lot, but he wasn't always there. Like he might be financially there, but physically I might not see you for 6-7 months, and that's not what a father should be. Do you get what I mean? So then my mum would pull through and be the father and mum. So you know on Father's Day you'll be like, oh, my mum's my father. Do you get what I mean? And I love my mum to death, so I thank her for pulling through when my dad wasn't there.
Sorry. I keep cutting. Personally, with parents and stuff, like, you know, you said like you have a good relationship with your dad. My main issue when it came to my parents divorcing was like, you know, when they feel like they don't owe you anything. I feel like discussions need to be had. My parents just divorced and one left and the other one stayed, and it's like no one ever spoke to us like, hey, by the way, you know, we're not working. We just had to like see what was going on with our own eyes and just deal with it. And I feel like parents need to understand that sometimes, even though we can see things happening with our own eyes, you do need to speak to us and you know, have a conversation with us, see how we are. You know, they expect us to just deal with certain things, and it's like, it's not fair, and it's like really confusing. And sometimes you might be in a dynamic where like your dad, you might not be allowed to talk to your dad. Like me, my mom doesn't really like it when I speak to my dad, do you know what I mean? And it's hard because I'm cut in the middle. These times you guys didn't even tell me what was going on, but now you're telling me that I have to kind of make a decision with who I can speak to, and it's just like, it's weird.
I think that makes it hard as well, because you then come to your own conclusion and had your own aspect on it.
Yeah,
they don't get along, and you understand that, but
that's
what happened? Because in that sense, your dad, I'm not saying he did something wrong, he could have done something crazy, and you would then understand if you had that explanation. Do you know what I mean? So it makes it harder in your sense.
Some mums will make you think your dad's done something so crazy, and because they're not going to talk to you about it, that's all you know. You're just going to hear your dad's this, your dad's that, and because they're not going to tell you like, okay, this is why we're breaking up, all you're hearing is, oh, my dad's a villain.
Yeah, they think just because we're children, like just because like we're their children, we're not actually children. Like we're growing up. Do you know what I mean? Like it's weird.
It's crazy. I think it's crazy how family dynamics have a actual effect on you. Like I didn't think, like I'll be real, I'm 22 now. Up until I was like 20, like I didn't really think family dynamics or relationships and stuff have an actual effect on you. Like how you are as a person, how you are with your friends, how you are in relationships. Like it shapes you. Like you just keep on growing. Like you don't really stop. So it's just like.
So can I ask you guys, when you live, I'm sure you have other friends that live with mum and dad. What differences do you see with them that you feel like is so abnormal to you? Because a lot of people always like to me, oh my gosh, you live with mum and dad. I'm thinking, like, what's the like? Not really like, what's the kind of hype? Do you get it?
I think all the hype comes from like just school and that, like school TV, like because realistically, I have a lot of friends that are really just like me, single parent households, and their parents are not together. Like my dad, he died, other people's parents, they're not together. Like I have a lot of friends, like majority of my friends are like that, but obviously you always know, especially as a kid, like in school, like I feel like adults feel like children are dumb. Like I can remember like it was yesterday in school, I'll go into school, I'm young, and they're asking me like a circle time, it's like, oh, who lives with mum and dad, or who lives like this and who lives like that? Oh, why don't you live like that? Oh, are you sad about that? Like, why are you? I'm so young. Like, why are you making me like? Obviously, it's good to know, but why is it such a bad thing that I have a one-parent household? Like, I feel like we have to listen to the negative connotations that stuff comes with. Like, it's not bad that I live in a one-parent household. Like,
I don't think it's bad. I feel like a lot of one-parent household, they actually do more because they don't want their child to lack. Because they know that they're doing it themselves. They go, like, I have a lot of friends who just live with their mum and they do not lack anything. Maybe obviously a father figure, but they're doing good for themselves. They're not bad children and stuff like that. And I know how hard their parents work for them. So I feel like that connotation that single household families, they're just done out.
I think
if people still have that connotation, that's a bit silly.
Society makes you think two-parent household is like the perfect image.
So I'm going to be real. As society is developing, there's a less two-parent house. In my opinion, anyway, I see a lot of families that are broken up, but their children are still they're still doing their thing.
I feel like it needs to be like this whole thinking of if you have a mum and a dad, your child will be perfect.
Yeah, this
that needs to stop.
That nuclear family thing is
it's actually
changing.
ridiculous. Like it's not proven. There's no particular cases that's like like this is gonna happen.
Yeah, I do think though with a nuclear family, like I live with my mum and I only have my mum. Like from when I was young, obviously it was just my mum and my sisters, and she does everything for me. Do you get what I'm saying? Like she's a mum, she's a dad, she's great. Do you know what I'm saying? I didn't feel as though growing up I was missing out on 100% something by not having a dad. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it was just saying I didn't feel like I was missing out on something, but I knew that wasn't what it's supposed to be. Do you get what I'm saying? And I feel like when it comes to as black women, a lot of people do grow up in single parent households, so that kind of reflects onto you what you think is normal. What my mum did is great, and what she continues to do for us is great, but that's not normal.
It's not normal.
Do you get what I'm saying? You should have help. You should have someone there for you. You should have someone to support you.
And even if, sorry to cut you off, Tosi, even if it's not help, you shouldn't have someone probably that could, even if you guys are going to go separate ways, they still help. Because some people actually abandon, they don't help. There's a difference between, they're not together, but my dad comes through, he pays this, he gives my mum money, he's helpful. Then a dad that's just abandoned you, he doesn't speak to you at all. I feel like that's really bad. That's when it becomes not normal. Because let's be real, in life, you're going to break up. People divorce, that's how life is. And unfortunately, people are going to divorce, but it's what your dad does. There's some people that divorce, but they love their dad. Their dad always comes through. But then there's some people, just my dad, I don't even know where, they probably don't even know where their dad is. And I feel like that's really bad. I hate men that act like that.
On that note, sorry to cut you off, I think coming from that perspective, you've also got to see how it can affect the dad.
Yeah,
because the dad could be going through some stuff. I'm not saying it's good to let him neglect. Maybe he needs to go through his own journey quickly. Let him breathe, because maybe he's not explained it to the children and they don't understand. And exactly as you guys said before, the mom might be saying, "Oh yeah, dad's done this, done that." Dad, the child's come to the dad, and the dad might not know how to deal with it.
I don't agree. Sorry, I feel like I understand what you're saying. I feel like as adults, we need to give our parents a certain bit of allowance because they're human beings too. But when you have a child, that's the responsibility. You have to take accountability. With men, they feel like they can just do as they. I don't have a dad in it, but I just feel like if you had a kid, my mum can't say she needs a time to breathe. Do you know what I'm saying? We're gonna say like if you're a mum, you're expected to look after your kids. If you're a man, just because you have a wife or a baby mum or someone to look after your kids doesn't mean you can abandon them. And that happens a lot in the black community, which is what leads to us feeling as though we can be independent or we can do ourselves.
We can be strong.
We're gonna get to that strong.
I agree with what you're saying, but my thing is, like, say for instance, mothers go through things too, and they can have a break. And I'm not saying that's not the same can apply to a dad.
Yeah, I know.
Like, he can be going through. I'm not saying abandon your child, don't go and see them for 6 years.
I agree with you.
Obviously, everyone has their.
Because I feel like with men as well, it's harder for them to express themselves, like to open up and be like, I'm going through something and I feel hurt. They won't do it. Girls, we'll go to our girlfriends and we'll be like, yeah, do you know what happened today? My mum, she went through a divorce. Like, they might not feel that open to like say, this is what's happened.
Quickly, do you know what I really don't like seeing is like on the internet, they'll make like, you'll see a 2-parent household, it'll be white. The single house will be black.
It has to be black.
Yeah, because that's how they think of us. That's what they believe. They believe that obviously to them probably statistics show that black families normally get divorced, lone parent households. That's how it goes. And obviously, maybe the statistics are right. I do see a lot of obviously black families who are they're lone parent families, but there's also white lone parent families. Let's not dispute that. I feel like when it's black people, they want to push this narrative onto us that we can't, they're always divorced. I don't like it. It needs to stop because there's also white people, Asian people who are divorced and they're living and no one's giving them chat. So
black people.
Wow.
And I think you should consider who actually benefits from that and who is also chastised. When you see a single mum or a single mum household, it's always, she can't keep a man, or why is she chasing? When are we going to start putting the onus on the men who actually leave their families, abandon their families? That's not okay. That's not normal. Do you know what I mean? It's normalised to us because it's like, okay, I haven't seen my dad in years. You know, that's not normal.
But that's not normal.
Do you know what I'm saying? That's genuinely not normal.
And also, have you seen like on social media, there's always them jokes like, oh, your dad went to the shop and like He didn't come back. My dad went to buy me.
But you know what it is? We find comfort in laughing at our problems.
Black people especially. It's such a, what's that word?
It's a
coping mechanism.
Yeah.
But even that, like, see how everything we're talking about, and we're saying, it's a coping mechanism, it's this, it's that. That all stems from the same thing that we're talking about. Like, that just stems from the fact that we had to do that.
We have to get strong. We need to go on the defense.
It's what do they call it? It's like a vicious
defense
cycle.
mechanism.
It doesn't stop. But I feel whenever I talk about this topic with my friends, I feel kind of hopeful because I feel like, not gonna lie, our year of like, or our generation, we are committed to stopping all this stuff that happened before. I really feel like we are the first of the revolution, the change. Because from our parents, like if I raise my kids, not that my mum raised me bad or like that generation raised me bad, but if I was to do that to my kids, nah.
No, everything I learned in my house, I know not to do to my kid.
Definitely.
Not saying that, I went through a bad childhood. I just know.
Well, I can speak for myself. We also need to understand. I feel like some of the way they treat us is not coming from a bad place. All they know is struggle. I'm not even trying to be African, but especially if you just came here, all they know is struggle. They don't know emotions. It's just more get in, do your thing. There's no time to be sad. We came here to survive. We're here. We need to make a living. So when we come to them and say, even for example, mommy, I'm upset. They don't understand that what you're upset about. They're gonna say you have a shelter. You've got iPhone. They just say things. They're just thinking. To me, it's like okay, I have all these things. But I'm so upset. So isn't that concerning to you? What do you want to speak to me? So I don't fault my mum or dad. And say to them, I'm upset you haven't really spoken to me about emotions because I know they're not doing it from a place. They're not being malicious with it. They just probably don't understand that. But there was the time I actually spoke to my mum I can't breathe, and I actually told her like these are the things I went through, and she listened a bit. Obviously, she didn't really fully understand, but she knew that there was something wrong with her daughter, so she'd be a bit more cautious. Because my mum, she always says to me, I don't want to see you upset. Don't do depressed. Like don't be that. Just be happy. And I'm thinking it's not that easy.
Parents hold in a lot, especially mothers. Because they hold up the household anyway. It's like when they see us upset, it's like you don't even know what I'm going through. That's why they'll be like, "Well, you got a roof over your head." Because really and truly, we live in our parents' household. We shouldn't have. Well, we do have problems, but compared to them.
No, but do you know what it is? Yeah, I think coming from older generations, exactly as you said, like they come here, you're working, you for the money, they don't understand that we're not from that same place.
Exactly.
We've come here
like nowhere near.
Exactly.
We want more for ourselves.
And to express that to a parent, I think sometimes they don't understand because it's like you're going through a breakup. That's not an issue. That's not an issue, and that shouldn't be normalised. An issue is issue. If I feel upset because I broke my phone, let me feel upset. Do you know what I mean?
I think we can just move forward really, like we can just move with our kids and like I feel like we just have to get on now, like
I think you learn. You take stuff from them, you learn. With everything, not only with parenting and stuff, with your journey, you take some stuff, you leave some stuff behind. That's it, you move forward. And the same thing's gonna happen for your child and their child and
So this question is for everyone to answer. So as a black woman, have you ever experienced body dysmorphia and how does that make you feel?
She said, "Oh."
Who wants to start?
Okay, do you know what it is? I'm trying to say what everyone's thinking. Yeah, you see when you get on your phone and you log into Instagram and you see all of these American, nice body babes, whatever. Obviously, like personally, you can only speak for yourself. Like personally, I'm not that confident in my body, but it is what it is. And if I want to change, I want to change. If I don't, I don't. But it's just like people need to stop thinking that it doesn't have an effect on people because, like, you see social media in general. Social media is addictive. It's proven. It is what it is. We can't be in denial about it. It's proven. Cool. If social media is addictive, what we see on it is addictive. All I'm seeing, all young girls are seeing, this body, big bum, big breast. Like, people want to become what they see. Like young people, they aspire to be the girls that we see. Like when we were younger, I wanted to be, I don't know, like let's say Beyonce or something. Like you always want to be someone older and glamorous. So if that's all I'm seeing, I'm gonna want to do it. But it's like it's not practical. Like these people that obviously Instagram is a job and stuff or whatever. Like them looking that way benefits them. I can't be like. I can't be lyrical galore in South London, do you know what I mean?
Like sometimes I'll look into the mirror and I think I look like a rectangle, like I look like an actual box. And it's like I'm trying to force myself to love like being slim because when you go onto Instagram, as you said, it's always big booty, thick thighs saves lives, all of that stuff. And it's like when I look in the mirror, I'm seeing a rectangle, but I can't change that because I'm not going to go to Dr. Miami. And I've tried the gym and COVID happened, so the gyms are now closed, so I'm back to square one. And I'm just like trying to love this slimness because that's what I am. So you have to learn to like actually love yourself because you can't go and change it right now.
100%. Yeah, I agree with the genre. I feel like it's so complex. I feel like it's like as you said, it's so many issues in one. With social media, like in general, everybody's different. Do you get what I'm saying? So why there's only one type of body type being praised?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? It doesn't make no sort of sense. Everyone's built differently. So when you're surrounded by these things in magazines or whatever, as a black woman, you start to feel inadequate. Especially with like people be like, oh, you know, black girls have nice curvy shape.
Yeah,
I don't have a nice curvy shape.
Yeah,
do you get what I'm saying? So when these things, when you start to see these things, it kind of plays on your mental health and like you start, you know, picking insecurities at yourself that you probably wouldn't otherwise see. So I feel like it's down to you to have a certain level of like obviously self-awareness and kind of overcome that, as you said, trying to love yourself and trying to overcome it because
we are all shaped differently at the end of the day. Yeah.
I feel like it's really hard because things are always constantly changing. Because I remember a couple of years ago, being thick was the in things, and then now being slim is the in thing. And I remember back in the day, like no one was waist training. Now this year, all I'm seeing is waist training.
Pt1.
So it's like
that's why you just have to focus on yourself.
You can't
it's
be
not
watching
healthy.
other people. It's not.
And as someone who like my weight fluctuates, is like every 1 minute I'm nice, next minute I'm not. So it's like it's too much to keep up with, and it's really draining.
As Tosi said, they like to put this image on black women that we have like curvaceous hips, and
so if you don't live up to that,
and as a black woman, I don't have that. I'm very slim, so it's like it makes me think, oh, like I'm not perfect, I'm not nice, like why do I look like this? And that's not right. But why? It's because society and social media makes me feel like I should have thick thighs.
I feel like we need to normalize normal looking black women. Not in a rude way, not all of us are gonna look like Bria Mouse. And like, I feel like when it comes to black women, for you to be seen as beautiful, sexy, this type of body you're supposed to have, which is unrealistic. Like I don't know if Bria Mouse's body is real or not, I do not know, but obviously it's more curvaceous, she has a good shape, in my opinion anyway. But it's just like unless you look like that, you're not sexy or beautiful. Like black women were kind of sexualized, which are sexual. The way they sexualize it equates to how pretty we are. So if you've got this banging body, no waist, oh my gosh, she's sexy, she's beautiful. If you're just an ordinary girl, like slim, not even slim, even if you're a little bit overweight,
just
that's
like in the middle,
normal
like,
body.
it's either the extreme or the other. Like it doesn't make sense. Like what about everyone else in the middle? Like how can you?
Not everyone.
And white women are not held to the same standards as
At
black
all.
women.
At
That's what I'm
all.
saying. When I see white actresses or white models or white, they're good to go. You know what I'm saying?
It's
like,
true, you know,
because
nobody looks like
obviously
white
they
women.
do get like trolls or whatever, but no one looks at white women like,
Why
she's
don't you
pretty,
have
but her
hers?
body's too this. You know what I'm saying? So when it's black, it
With
takes
black
a
people,
toll.
you need to
Like,
be-
we want to have European hair, or you know,
100%.
because we don't love ourselves, we have to get all of these modifications. But as far as I'm concerned, white people get their lips done. White people get.
And I was gonna say,
it's aesthetically pleasing when a white woman has like braids or like big lips, but when it's like a black woman, it's like like
Crazy.
you get what I
basically
mean?
even going into the next question, but we'll carry on. But what was I gonna say? And also I want to say something because I feel like when it comes to body dysmorphia, I don't feel like people allow skinny girls to not like their body. I feel like people feel like if you're skinny,
You're fine.
shut up, man. You don't talk like, you
100%.
don't need to go to the gym, your body's fine.
I'm definitely
But sometimes, some girls are skinny and they don't feel like they have a shape. Some girls are skinny, they feel like they
You
don't
know how
have a
many
bum.
times, like, people be like, you have no ass. I get it. I actually get it.
No, but what I'm trying to say is that if a skinny person comes like, if I came to you guys and I said that I feel like I'm putting on weight, oh shut up, Mariam, man. You know, and I'm thinking,
but it's,
no,
we actually do it by default, like. And it's funny to see because we all have friends that are different sizes. So it's just like even today when you were like, oh, like doesn't really look big. I was thinking,
yeah, I'm not. I ain't shut up.
It's just like,
Shut up, because it's
I
actually
don't know this is fucking my belly.
no, but there's actually people who are not. You can see that their one's more of, how do I say it? I don't know how to say this.
It's all feeling with
Nah, what I'm trying to say is I'm slim, whatever, yeah. But I know if I say, oh my gosh, my belly's big, there's actually someone actually that probably has a big belly. So to them, it's like,
Yeah, so I'm glad you said that, Mariam. No, I'm glad you said that. I would see myself as more chubbier in certain. You know what I'm saying? Because my
yeah, but I was saying to you, why are you saying that? Because
okay, but my point is that if you're slim or you're skinny, I don't feel like you're gonna be treated differently or badly because of your weight. So if that's down to you, you could think I'm a bit too skinny, I want to gain a bit of weight. But if you're fat, people are fat phobic. People are actually mean to fat people for no reason apart from the fact that they're fat. So I feel like it's definitely different. Obviously they're entitled to feel that way. But as somebody that I would consider myself more on the larger side, I definitely feel like I can understand why people will probably be a bit more dismissive. Although it's wrong, and I'm not saying it's right, but it's kind of like, okay, well, Mariam, you're slim, do you get what I'm saying?
But I would agree, I do feel like when it comes to that thing, people are more rude to people that are bigger and stuff like that. They get more hate, they get more like critique on their way, it's true. So I'm not gonna act blind to it, but all I'm saying is that slim girls can have a problem with their body, because some people are actually incredibly skinny and it does affect them.
And that's what body dysmorphia
that's what
it
is.
is. Like, when slim people or skinny people look in the mirror, like I said, we don't have a shape to us. I'm like that mirror. I'm straight.
But
you
believe that, but someone will actually see and feel like, Dejana, no, you're slim. You have a nice
that's what I was just about to say. My like kind of coping mechanism is just to say that like you are someone's end goal. Like you know, some people can look at you like I want to look like you.
In that sense, yeah.
And it can be.
Let's talk to the fitness
expert. That's where I was going to come from. With that aspect of people want to have that idealistic body and they want to look like you, that there isn't good for someone else's mental health.
I know, but my thing is like, don't be so hard on yourself.
I mean, 100%, because
that's
my same coping mechanism. As a personal trainer,
I
get people messaging me all the time. What do you do to
I even messaged you the other day.
Do you know what I mean? And sometimes I can handle it. I've learned how to handle it, should I say. Sometimes I have clients, they're like, no, like, I can't believe you're looking like this today. Like, what did you actually do? And it puts a toll on me because it creates the pressure of like, I have to look like this person. No, I'm normal. I eat chocolate. I eat sweets. I drink alcohol. I do the exact same thing everybody else does. However, I have a routine for my training and my diet, and that's how you accomplish your goals. So for me, when I look in the mirror, there'll be days I'll be like, I don't want to look at myself. Turn that way. I don't want to see it because I've heard it too much. I don't want to hear it. And for myself, I'm not where I want to be in my body. So then in that way, that's how I get it. It becomes harder. But as you said, you just got
I got to block it out.
As we're even talking about this, Kishan, I'm going to need you to read your question because it ties in well with what we're saying, and I feel like I might need to start this one.
So my question is, what's your current take and view of the beauty standards which are stereotypically more European? The narrative that lighter skinned women are more appealing than darker skinned women.
There's literally girls that crying. There's girls that cry in the comments like, this is so annoying. Like, why do they always do this? And I hate this. You know why I'm so comfortable? It's never stopped me from getting man. Like, I don't. No, not even like that. Like, I do. No, honestly speaking. No, but it has to. Big up the girls that have the energy to honestly fight back in these comments in the shade. Like, oh my gosh, I hate this. Why are they always doing this? At the end of the day, we've all had like, we're all gonna get married one day. There's someone that likes dark skinned girls. Like, I don't sit down behind the screen and cry when I see the football of a light skinned girl.
100%.
I'm not. That's not where I'm looking at.
I think you need to understand the sentiment behind it. I feel like they're trying to raise awareness to the issues that are being faced. Like we can't turn a blind eye and put everything on a preference. All the footballers, all the rappers, white girls or light skinned girls. I, for one, will not comment on the blogs because that's not my. I'm not going to start saying why am I my favorite light skin girl. But if people identify this, that's maybe not the right platform, but it's definitely something to be voiced because it's much deeper than it seems.
My sister, we've identified it for so many years. I do not care. But it's so important to know it is true.
That's what it is. It's just you, like. Even me, I'm the same person that I couldn't give two flying monkeys. That I couldn't give a fuck. But there's but you see how that cool. We're 22, we're a bit older. If these conversations were happening more when I was like 13, 14, I think it would have been completely different. Because I'm not gonna lie, I think it's a good conversation now because now that we're older, we can reflect and sit back. But if we transport back to that time, if there were like blogs and stuff and I don't know, like radio stations talking about these things, I'll be dead and crying in my room. Like it's a serious topic.
Can I say something? What annoys me is like, darker skinned females will make like the lighter skinned female feel like it's her fault that people are going like the footballers going for her, the rappers going for her, and it's like I didn't pick the skin color. It was the chromosomes that did it for me, and it's like. They'll make you feel like everybody just wants to lie. She's this, she's that, but I didn't do it.
But that's their reality. If someone says obviously it's wrong to attack an individual for their relationship, at the end of the day, that's the person they want to be with, and that's fine, and it's not your fault you're light skinned. However, if you can see that certain people go for light skinned girls, and there are light skinned girls out there that genuinely
they like it.
Sorry, do you want her like? Is it a thing where like you want? Obviously, we're both dark skinned. Is it a thing where you want lighter skinned people to acknowledge the fact, like, do they have to?
It's not so much acknowledgement. Do you know what it is? I feel like as a dark skinned woman, I don't mind who you date. However, as a light-skinned woman, if you're a black man and you only date light-skinned women or white women,
that sounds like self-hate.
it sounds like self-hate.
Yeah,
And
that's what
as a
I'm
light-skinned
saying.
woman, you might actually fall in love with a dark-skinned man. That's absolutely fine. All the best to you. But for you to kind of now revel in that, I feel as though, you know what, I don't know who I feel more sorry for. The light-skinned woman or the dark man.
But what I was saying is that there's no problem with this, but when it comes, some light skin girls, they glamorize the fact that they're light skin, they love it, and there's nothing. Of course, love your skin, but don't love it to put other people as well. But I don't like it when they try to belittle other skin colors because they're light skin. They love the fact that the man them love them. Not all, because I know there's some boys that love dark skin women. Trust me, but the boys there's some black boys. Your mom is black, your sisters are black. And you are so those boys really, it scares me because I don't understand. But your sister's black. I never said to anyone. I'm saying my truth. That's why I don't understand.
Because I have a lot of dark friends, and they'll be like, I hate dark women. I'm thinking your mother is dark, your sister is dark. So that is self-hate.
That's why people then comment on footballers. The reason why they hate black women is because they can see the people they want to be are with white women. The people they want to be like are with black women.
I do get
all of that. It kind of steps on that. It is
But
very sad.
even when with one of my exes, I had this conversation with him too. He hated me wearing weed and he hated black women. I was like, why
is your ex?
Yeah. I was like, what is this problem? And it was just everything his mum done. The way she raised him, the discipline, he didn't like it. And from there, he just rolled on, like, it's done. I don't like it.
And the thing is,
I don't think that's correct.
These men, they won't get fixed because if you don't take it, there's going to be someone else to take it.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter to them. Like, hey, if you're not hearing it, okay, bye.
And if you speak,
they're going to end up. We're going to in 10 years. If you see the person, they're going to be the same person.
And they'll say to you, oh. Anyway, that's my preference, and that's why I don't argue. That's your preference. I don't really mind.
100%.
And then they were like, "No, dark skin girls. You guys are too much, man. You guys are too much, man."
No, I feel like there's a thin line between preference and being like negative.
Yeah, exactly.
Like people say as like, "Oh, that's just not my type," but it's like, why is that not your type?
Yeah, you need to study yourself. Why is that not your type? What's happening? We need to dig deep. And unfortunately, I'm not gonna be the one to coach you on that. But I feel like it's something you should look within yourself. Like I can't, as a dark skinned woman, sit down. I don't date black men. But marrying a dark skin, so it's just like, why wouldn't you want to date your own? To me, it just really confuses me, and I want some answers. I'm begging you guys, if you want to answer, like put the comments below, because I don't really understand. Is there something I'm missing here? Like, and I don't want anyone to feel like, oh, light skinned women. I love light skin. I have light skinned friends. There's no problem. But I just feel like these are conversations we should have. That's why I'm happy you two are here, so you guys can put your take on it. Because some men,
I don't think I'm better than anybody.
And I get that, and I feel like because I have friends that like you guys are light skinned, you get what I'm saying, and you're very beautiful, but you don't think you're beautiful because you're light skinned. I don't think I'm beautiful because I'm dark skinned. So when people are so fixated,
I don't use my colour as an advantage.
And also when people say like you're pretty for a black girl, do you know what
I don't think I've ever heard something.
It has to be the worst thing. That means that you're home. I don't want to meet your family. You can forget about it.
Like that's the worst thing you can actually say.
And you know, some people actually think that's a compliment. Like when they say it, I'm thinking.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm on burning bridges for that anyway.
That's so rude.
But even the question also says, obviously, it says, what's your current take and view of the beauty standards? And I want, which are typically more European, because I was talking to this about the genre. I feel like I don't care, number one. And number two, I feel like the genre was saying the beauty standards have now changed. Before, people didn't like big lips. Now everyone's getting lip fillers. And I've seen even black girls get lip fillers, but I won't say anything about that. But black girls are getting lip fillers, which I don't really understand. I don't really understand it, but obviously I don't understand. If you feel secure about your lips, then please.
Okay, well, somebody that has had lip fillers, I just like the plumpness. I like more plump. I like my lips. I just wanted a bit more plump.
Yeah, and it's something I never really understood. So if you want to DM me if you have a problem, but yeah, so with me, I just feel like nowadays the beauty standards have shifted. Like before, it was like straight hair, you know, blue eyes and stuff like that. Like let's be real, it was just more.
I just think it's important, to understand that like. Fam, things change every single year or every decade. Like every single thing that you have or like that you love has been a standard of beauty before. Like, there's no point trying to keep up with these standards. That's how you see celebrities go through like 55 faces. And there'll be documentaries or magazine spreads on a celebrity's 55 faces. Like, what is going on in this world? Like, you just have to be yourself. You just have to learn to love. If, like, say now, if I went home and I'm like, okay, I want my lips done, I want this done, I need to make sure that's exactly how I want to look like. That's what I want to be like.
You can't
but you can't chase the trend. It's gonna die out. Music fucking dies out, and you think faces won't come on that.
No, it's true to be fair.
That's why you have to be your own
change their face every
You have to be the best that you can, even with like, because I'm not a fitness professional, but you are. if I want to lose weight, I need to be the best I can be.
Yeah.
I cannot look at
Not
anyone
for someone
say,
else.
I will never look at
It's
this.
unrealistic.
So you need to be your own self, and I feel like that's why even with social media, like I try to follow people that look like me. Do you know what I'm saying? I try to follow people that don't, because it's like even with outfits. If she has a similar body type, it might work. But do you get what I'm saying? Rather than looking at people that are completely different, hoping one day you're gonna get to that, because it's unrealistic and it's damaging. Do you get what I'm saying? So you have to kind of just be your own standard. Because you can't keep trying to chase the wind or chase what they think is in right now. Do you know what I mean?